Hey everyone, we got a new cursor update. I think the most affecting changes are in the composer. But before we are looking into that, there is one thing. We have cursor tab now, auto import symbols in Python files. Very quickly, what does that mean? So I have a number guessing game where you can guess the number 50, 19, 19. And if you can see, I've hard-coded the secret number to 42. So let's enter 42 and we have won the game. So we can see we have imported time, Colorama, and some other libraries, or one other library. And if we want to use the random library, like random randin from 0 to 100, cursor is suggesting on the top, hey, you need to import random. Let's hit tab and let's hit tab again, and we have now imported the random library. Start the game again, try 42 again. I don't know the number and we will stop it here, but I think you get the idea. We can now auto import packages with cursor. Let's move now to Composer changes. We have Composer notepads, which was previously the projects. Before we creating a notebook or previously a project in Cursor, I will show you the project I've prepared. So the counter starts always from a random number and it counts to infinity. The reason why I've built 3 separate components for a simple counter is to demonstrate you how we can work with a notepad. All right, now let's open the Composer, create a notepad. We will call it create component, create a new functionality based on our counter component, our composable use counter, and the function get initial count. It means if we create now a countdown component, it will be similar to our counter component. I hope that makes sense. We're going to create a new functionality countdown, which counts from 100 to 0 based on our create component. Let's hit enter and I will explain it. Yep. Cursor is now looking at the references we have added to the create component, like add use counter, that add counter, and it's now building a countdown functionality which is very similar to our counter. Okay, what do we have here? That looks good. Let's save and accept it. Get initial counter, save and accept it. Looks, I don't want that, so let's copy paste this here and remove the imports because we don't need the imports. So I will copy paste everything and just add the countdown component. What you can see is that I'm editing the diff view. This is also a new feature in the new cursor. This wasn't possible in the previous version, and I think this is a nice feature addition, so we can just hack into the diff view and change it before we save it. So let's save and accept it. That should be all. Let's start the project again. And perfect. Countdown looks and works similar to the counter component. All right. Let's move to the next feature. Composer can now be added to the AI pane. We can add the composer here in the AI pane. We need to do some steps. So first, open the composer, minimize it. So open floating composer. And now you have here 3 dots. And open composer as pane will add it to the AI pane. We can also do this faster with Command and D, so switch between these 2 views. And when we are talking about Windows, there is another feature which isn't mentioned in the changelog. We can now move this composer window to a new window. That's very useful if you have, for example, multiple displays. So you can work with Composer View in the right display, on the right display, and in code on the left display, or whatever your use case is. To make this work, we need to explicitly enable it in the cursor settings. So let's quickly get to beta settings and enable window control panel beta enabled. Let's close it, open Composer again, and in the right top we have now open a new window. Let's click it. We have now the Composer in a new window. Adding multiple images to the chat. Previously it was just possible to add one image, and now you can add multiple images to do some more specific stuff in your prompts in the AI pane. One change which isn't mentioned in the changelog, and I think it's a really important one, and I don't know why they don't have included it. It's called checkpoints. So with checkpoints, you can go to previous prompt outputs. That means if we, for example, let's say, change the color of the countdown component to purple. Let's do this very quickly. Now you can see the countdown is purple. I want to move back or to a previous version where the countdown is still red. So instead we are telling Composer, hey, go back to red. We can just use a checkpoint, which is a bit hidden, but you can see it here in checkout. If we scroll up and use this checkout, the complete countdown will be removed because this is the starting point. And here we have kind of the changes for the purple color. If we click checkout, everything is grayed out. That means we've cancelled the operation, and if we switch now back to the counter, it's red again. Okay, that's all. Thank you for joining. Thank you if you have made it so far, and let's see you in the next video.